Good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday. I just realized that the lens on my computer looks a little dirty. Let me just, sorry. Okay, that's a little better. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday, March the 20th. I think it's the day before the first day of spring. I always get confused about whether it's March 20th or 21st is the first day of spring. Anyway, spring is upon us, and I am here to do your weekly Coffee and a Card Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Actually, I'm live in two places. So I'm just going to make sure that I can see comments to know that I'm live. Yes, good morning and first day of spring. Okay, happy first day of spring, my friends. I hope everybody's doing well and having a good weekend. Good morning, Betty. So let me introduce myself for those that are watching for the first time. My name is Zara Premji, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and creative coach from Markham, Ontario, Canada. Every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, I come on here and do a live crafting show. There's lots of chatter happening, lots of crafty things, stories about whatever comes to mind. And we just love to connect and chat and craft together. And I always have at least a card, sometimes two, to show you. Today it'll be one card. And I love to share crafting inspiration and to teach others to be able to paper craft themselves. So whether you are very new to stamping or you've been doing it for a long time, I hope that you will find something out of this live stream today. And I always love to hear from you in the comments. So please keep the chatter going. I will tell you a little bit about what we're doing today, and we'll get started really shortly. Good morning, Shirley. Thank you for joining. So, this week we were on March break. We had spring break or March break, whatever you'd like to call it. So our kids were off for a week, and I was off because I work in the school system. So I was off for the week. And for those of you that have kids or remember back to when your kids were young, you know that March break is never a break. So, or neither is the holiday break or that kind of thing. Long weekends are not really like restful per se, because you end up being really busy with kids' activities, play dates, taking them here, there, everywhere, doing activities with them. So I wouldn't say that it was necessarily a relaxing week, but it was a good week in terms of being able to get a few things done. We are still undergoing construction in our house. I think we're now entering week 6. And we're told that this is kind of the week where everything is going to come together. So our flooring is done, our drywall is done, some of the painting is done, the tile work in the bathroom is done. Our cabinetry is on order and is supposed to be arriving today. Sorry, not today, this week. And so we're making some progress. I'm super excited for it to be done. It's been for those of you that have undergone home renovations, it can be challenging to live through the chaos. And I look straight past my computer and all I see are bins and boxes full of stuff. And so it's a little chaotic in our house, and there's 5 of us and we're like cramped into smaller spaces. So I'm really, really looking forward to it being done. So will you go and lock the door, please? I'm just going to stop and read a few comments. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Natalie. Okay, they changed the first day of spring from the 21st to the 20th a few years ago. I didn't know that, which might explain why I've been a little confused about it. Good morning, Linda from Texas. Good morning, Shams. So anyway, we are hopefully going to be moving things back into our basement within a week to 2 weeks. We finally ordered a sofa, so it's coming together. I can't wait to show you guys all after pics and do a little video tour. For my craft room, I think there's probably lofty expectations of what that's going to look like, but once the basement is done, I'm actually going to just move my existing furniture in there and just get a feel for how I want to create in the space. So where the light hits, how I want to set things up, and just kind of get a feel for it for a couple of weeks. And then I'll probably order some customized cabinetry, or I'll customize it a little bit more once I get a feel for how I'm going to want to use the space. So it's like a big square. I think it's well, almost a square. It's like maybe 12 by 13. And I'm going to have barn doors on the front entrance. And then there's a little window. Basement windows are tiny, but there's lots of pot lighting in there. So it's going to be nice and bright. I'm so, so excited about it. And the flooring is gorgeous. And so I'm super excited. Okay, let me take a big sip of my coffee. And then I am going to get started with some crafting. And while I do this, I'm going to read comments. Good morning, Kelly. Thank you for joining. Good morning, Terry from sunny Colorado. Good morning from Sandy Hook. Is that Manitoba? MB. I think it's Manitoba. Good morning, Michelle, and happy spring. Good morning, Sue. Okay, so fingers crossed that your internet holds up so that you can enjoy this morning. Good morning, Mindy. Thank you for joining, my beautiful friend. I wanted to tell you guys something, and now it's escaped me. Something nudged me. Oh, Michelle, you talked about waking up and going for a nice 1 hour quiet time power walk. This morning, I woke up super early. I woke up at super early for a Sunday. I woke up at 6:45, and I just like enjoyed the quiet for a couple of hours. Everyone woke up quite a bit later, and I meditated a little. I journaled. I did my daily gratitude. I sipped my coffee. It was just beautiful. Good morning, Brianna. Hello, my friend. Okay, are you guys ready to see the crafting? I'm chatting a lot today. Let's flip the camera. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing today. I'm using a new ring light. So I was finding that in this dining room space, I always felt like everything looked so dark. So hopefully the lighting is a little bit better today. I am going to be creating with a stamp set from the mini catalog. It's called For the Record. And you know what's funny? When I saw this in the catalog the first time, I was like, oh, I for sure need to have that. And then I ended up not ordering it. I don't know why, but I looked everywhere in all my stuff. I mean, there's a good possibility it's lost in one of the boxes, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I reordered it or ordered it for the first time and finally got it. So I'm going to be creating with that today. You can find this stamp set on page 74 of our January to June mini catalog. And I'll tell you why this stamp set was so meaningful to me. I remember when we lived in our old house, I was in grade 6 or 7, I think. So I was about 11 years old. And is that right? Grade 6. Would I have been 11? Yeah, I think. Yeah, 11 years old. And we used to have a record player. We had this unit that had a record player and like a radio and a cassette player. And I've loved music since I was very young. So my dad used to collect records. And he had a record that we used to love to listen to as a family. You guys might laugh, but Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen. I don't know why we just loved that song. So that was like on repeat in our house. But I still remember the little arm and the needle and making sure you dropped it down in the right spot on the record. And it's something that my kids will never have the opportunity or may never have the opportunity to see it unless I find a video and show it to them. But that just brings back so many fond memories. So whenever I hear Billy Ocean on the radio, I always think of that time when we were younger and lived in our old home. And the other record, my very first record that I ever got was Whitney Houston. So that song, How Will I Know? That was my very first record. And so I was super excited to get that. I don't know where our records have gone. We probably got rid of them. We definitely don't have a record player, but music has been such a big part of my life. And my husband always laughs because when I was in university and I didn't have very much money, whatever money I did get, I was spending on CDs because at that time CDs had come out. So I still have this huge box of CDs that I just don't want to part with. I don't use them. We don't use a CD player now with Spotify and iTunes, but I just can't part with them. Music is such an important part of my life. So I told you I wouldn't chat too much, but clearly I have lots to say. So we're going to be creating a card with the For the Record. Good morning, Janice. Yes, time to get spinning. Okay, the next thing I just really want to quickly tell you is that our catalog, this catalog is going to be retiring. Our new catalog comes out in May of 2022. So this catalog will be retiring at the end of April. Our retiring list will come out March 23rd. So I will be sharing that. And so you'll definitely want, if there are things that you want to get now, like I would not wait till the retiring list comes out. If you wanted any of our existing in colors, the outgoing ones, you'll definitely want to stock up on that stuff now because it is going to sell out. It always sells out. So this would be our Magenta Madness, which I'm super sad about, Misty Moonlight. I'm sad about all of them. Just Jade, Bumblebee, and Cinnamon Cider. Those are the colors that are going to be retiring. And so if there's any product that you want in those in colors, you'll definitely gonna want to order those soon. So here comes the time where I show you the card. And if you don't want to see it, look away. I just love this card. And it's going to be like, I have to warn you, this is going to be a card that you're either going to love or you're going to hate. It's on a pink base. So for those of you pink lovers, you will love it, but it's retro. I feel like it's retro. So here we go. I'm going to show you the card. Good morning, Rita. Okay. Beth. Oh yes. I wanted to ask you guys, tell me, oh, sorry. If you don't want to see the card, look away. But tell me, what's like your most memorable record or your first record that you have? Beth shared that her first album was Bay City Rollers. So I'm excited to hear, like, for those of you that collected records or even had one, what was it? Does this bring back memories? Okay, so this is my card. It's a super simple because that's something that I just really, I'm a simple stamper, so I didn't add too much on it, but there is some heat embossing because I consider heat embossing to be a simple technique. So it's a simple card, and I just couldn't help but doing the record in gold. Okay, so this record, the stamp set lends itself really nicely to heat embossing. And if you heat emboss this record in black or clear onto black cardstock, it looks like a real life record. So if you haven't yet dabbled in heat embossing, you're going to want to start with, if you have this stamp set, because it just lends itself perfectly. So, okay. So Mindy's first was Thriller, Michael Jackson. Yes, I had that one. Madonna, True Blue. Chubby Checkers, The Twist. Oh, I love hearing all of these. This makes me, I don't know, it just brings back so many memories. Music is just such an important part of life, and it can literally change the trajectory of your day, your mood. One of the things that I use music for is when I'm about to do a task that I really don't want to do. So cleaning the house, cleaning my craft room. If there's things that I have to do that are just kind of a daunting task, I will blast music because I just feel like it will instantly take that task that I don't want to do and turn it into a task that suddenly becomes fun. So, okay, let me tell you a few things that we're using. So we're using the For the Record stamp set. One of the things you might not know about this stamp set is that it actually coordinates with the layering circles dies. I'm really sorry about this glare. Let me see if I can shift that a little bit. Okay. Helen Reddy, I Am Woman. Poor Little Fool by Ricky Nelson. Okay, some of these I'm going to have to go look up because I don't know them all. I have a certain style of music. Well, actually, no, I listen to all sorts of music, but I'm really chatty today. I apologize. So this die here from the Layering Circles dies will cut out the record perfectly. If you don't have the dies or you don't have a die cutting machine, you can easily cut this out with scissors. It's a nice round shape. It's like a perfect circle. So it's not hard to cut, but I will show you how the Layering Circles dies can be used with this. So we are going to use Blushing Bride cardstock. I love pink. I mean, I don't skate around that at all. I really love pink. It makes me super happy. So I craft with it as often as I can. I'm also using the Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper. This is a 4x6 paper. I think this might be the third pack that I've cut into. And many of the patterns have been used already, but just to give you a feel for the gorgeousness of this paper, there are beautiful gold foil foil details on the papers. There's some black and white, there's some ombre, everything looks sort of watercolored. It's just gorgeous. Okay, so these are the front sides of some of the patterns, and there are some missing, and then here is the other side of them. Okay, so you can just get a feel for all of the different patterns in this paper. It's gorgeous. I can't stop using it. If you don't have it already, you need this in your life. Like, it's just so versatile. There's florals, there's stripes, there's all these sort of watercolor and paint splatters, and it's just beautiful. So I'm using a pattern that's different from my original card. I kind of changed this very last minute. I'm using this pattern here, and what I love about this one is that it has so many different colors in it that it's really great to find a jumping off point for your cards. So we've got Night of Navy, we've got Blushing Bride, there's Mint Macaron, there's some I think it's Daffodil Delight or Bumblebee. We've got black, we've got Balmy Blue, like so many beautiful colors in here that make it really easy for you to pick a color that you might have in your cardstock supply and begin using that. So I'm going to set this aside for now, and we're going to do our heat embossing first. So I'm going to take my record stamp, which I've already got here, and you're going to use your Versamark ink. Now, I have lost my embossing buddy, so I've just been using Kleenex. I need to find it. It's missing in action. So I'm going to start by just stamping my record here. Okay, so it's a larger stamp. So I'm using what size block? This is an E block, and I'm just going to ink this up with Versamark. So I'm just doing that upside down. I'm just taking my Versamark ink pad, loading that up. You want to make sure that you've got a good amount of Versamark on here. This is just our watermark ink, and this is what allows the embossing powder to stick. So I'm stamping that straight down and straight up. And then I'm going to go into my gold embossing powder. Okay, good morning, Nancy from Tennessee. Shams, did you say my first cassette? Does that mean you're too young to have records? Also, I really love that song, Mariah Carey, Daydream. I think you're far younger than I am. I didn't ask about cassettes. Okay. I think I found a cassette, a couple of cassettes when I was cleaning the basement out. So I still have them, but we definitely have no mode for playing them. We have no cassette players in the house. See, this is where my embossing buddy would have been handy. Okay. I'm just flicking off the excess. I'm going to leave that there for a second. As long as you've got your powder on it. Do you guys see what I was about to do? Taking my Versamark lid and putting it on my embossing powder. Once you've got your embossing powder onto your ink, then you can let it be for a bit if you need to finish stamping other things. So I'm going to use two different stamps that say, for the record, you're awesome. So this is going to be a little different from my original card, but I'm going to just try it out and then we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to take my mint macaron and I'm going to grab my handy little tissue here. And hopefully you guys can see everything. Again, I don't know if the lighting is good for you guys, but hopefully you can see. So I'm just taking, for the record, good morning, Linda from BC. Oh, it's early for you. It's probably like 7:20. Is that right? Do I have that right? So I'm stamping for the record. Whoops. And then I'll also go with you're awesome. And I'm going to go on the other end here because I want to be able to, hang on. That's a little crooked. Let's see. I think I need to angle this down a little bit more. That's better. Okay. You probably didn't see what I was doing, but my sentiment was a little crooked and I just redid it. So now I'm just going to take my embossing powder and I'm going to coat where I've stamped. I really love heat embossing. I think that this can be a scary thing for people, but it's really very easy to do and it's not hard. So I always say that, you know, I'm a simple stamper. I don't like to spend a ton of time on any one card. And so trust me when I tell you, heat embossing is not something that takes a ton of time. I have some embossing powder on my table now, which I'm just going to move out of the way. Okay, so now you grab your heat tool and we're just going to heat set this. Okay, good morning, Amy. Shams, yeah, Shams, you're like being really kind and not telling us how much younger you are than those of us that did have records, but it was probably before your time. Okay, so I'm heat setting my sentiments. 7:20 a.m. Sun's up. It is nice to be having more sunlight. Can you guys hear anything I'm saying? I'm not sure with my heat tool going if you can hear me, but in case you can, I was just saying that it's been really nice to have more sunlight in the day and definitely helps with the mood. and I feel less tired. I'm still tired, don't get me wrong. I think I'm gonna grab my, if I can find it. Nope, I'm just gonna use scissors here. I was gonna grab my trimmer. This is one of the challenges with working at my dining table is that nothing is, well, very few things are within reach right now. Oh, Linda had 8 track tapes. That makes you ancient. No, I think we had those too. I do know what they are. I didn't have any myself, but I'm fairly certain my dad did. My parents really loved music too. Now they had immigrated here from East Africa, and our background is, I would guess you could say we're sort of, it's Indian. So my parents listened to Indian music, and so we had a lot of those in cassettes and 8-track tapes. Do you remember when you used to record stuff off the radio? I loved that. So when you would listen to the radio, you'd hear a song and you could actually hit record on your cassette player and record the song right off the radio. And it saved money because then you didn't have to actually buy the album. I don't know if that was legal, but I did it. Oh, I forgot to heat emboss my record here. Let's do that again. I love all this conversation about music. You guys are going to have to see how amazing this looks when it starts to, oh, look at that. Look at that. Can you see that? Oh, that's so cool. So satisfying. It's these little moments when you're card making that just have the power to make your day happier. It's the little things. If we're always looking for big moments and big things to make us happy, we'll never be able to appreciate the little things. So sometimes for me, just even watching heat emboss powder set, it brings me joy. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. I am going to grab my cut and emboss machine and I will show you how these layering circles dies will magically turn this into a record. Isn't this so cool? Can you see that? Oh, look at how beautiful that is. This had to be in gold. It had to. Okay, so Heather's saying, my dad also had a full stereo system. So my favorite growing up was Simon and Garfunkel, and I think my first one was a K-Tel compilation record that had some Rick Springfield. Oh my goodness, I haven't heard that name in years. There's a throwback. Did I do this right? Okay. We're not aiming for perfection, right? Done is better than perfect. So it's done. And I'm just going to run this through. So in case you can't see, this is the die right here. I've put the die around it and I'm going to cut out that record. And then honestly, that's it. We're just going to start assembling the card. I'll move this out of the way and I will show you how beautiful that looks. If you don't have the layering circles, it will, ooh, what is this? What happened here? There's some stuff stuck on my cut and emboss machine. Let's see if I can just get this off. Oh, I know what this is from. I was using the New Horizons bundle yesterday, and there's a little picket fence. I'm just going to wipe this on my leg because there we go. So there's a little picket fence die, and I was die cutting, and there were some little bits left over on my plates. Okay, so let's start to put this together. I love all this chatter about music. It's making me happy. And it's making me want to play music as soon as this is done. Because I got some cleaning to do. We're just going to be getting ready for back to school, back to work. We have a religious holiday tomorrow. So lots of things to get done for that. Okay, so I am just taking my pattern paper and I'm sticking it down on a Night of Navy mat. Okay, so just to add a bit of contrast against the Blushing Bride cardstock, I'm just going to do this. We are on to assembly, friends. We are in the home stretch. Okay, then I'm going to take my record and I'm going to take some dimensionals. I'm now working on the border of my dimensional sheet, so I'm just going to snip these. In case I mean, I'm sure many people know this hack, but in case you don't, never throw out once you've finished the dimensionals on your sheet, keep using it until you've used all of the border pieces too. These are totally usable, very handy, and should not be wasted. Okay. Just taking this record here. I love that there's a little heart in the middle. And then let's see how we want to set this up. For the record, you're awesome. Should we do them together or separate? Should I do the for the record at the top? Or should I do it closer to the bottom? I'm going to let you guys weigh in because I can't decide. While I let you decide, hello, Donna. Happy first day of spring. It is quite a spotlight of golden glory. Oh, goodness, Janice, your comments make me laugh. Okay, so tell me, bottom, we want to see it on the bottom. Okay, so I'm just going to tie a bow with my white twine. I don't want this to be overpowering because the gold it's quite a hit of gold. So I'm just using a little bit of twine, white twine here. And I'm going to trim that. Oh, some are saying separate. Okay. Separate together at the bottom. Oh my goodness. Is it like completely evenly split? Top and bottom, separate, together at the bottom. I was hoping this would be unanimous. Now I don't even know. Okay, let's see. The only thing about putting it at the bottom is that it actually covers a lot of the record. So that's one of the things I'm thinking. For the record, you're awesome. Maybe on a slant. I don't know. Ooh, this is a hard one. I feel like just ditching the for the record and just putting you're awesome. Okay, I'm going to try it at the top, friends, only because I don't want to cover that beautiful gold record. Okay, so some of you are saying separated. All right, do we want it on an angle? I think I kind of like it on an angle. That one I'm just going to make an executive decision. Not that I'm an executive, but you know what I mean. Okay, let's find a glue dot. And I'm going to tuck that right here. Okay. And then let's get a mini dimensional because the sentiment is a bit narrow, and put that over on just behind the awesome. Okay. Don't put the dimensional on this side of the sentiment because you want to be able to have it be level with the record. So I'm just going to take, maybe I'll use a glue dot here. So glue dot on one side, dimensional on the other. And we're just going to cover the knot of that bow and have this sit like that. Yeah, it's cute. So cute. All right, so told you it was simple. Snip that, and then, we need some embellishments. Now, here is your next assignment. You have to decide what color matte dots we're going to use. Are we going to use white, gray, or black? Okay, we've got 3. Thank you, Judy. Yes, I am an executive. I'm the CEO of my Stampin' Up! Business. I am the CEO. I'm the president. I'm the marketing specialist. I am the admin. I am the copywriter. I am all the things. For those of you that are running businesses, you know how it is when you're an entrepreneur or when you run your business alone. It's like you do all the things. So, okay, are you guys going to tell me? Okay, black. The bottom sentiment looks like the arm of the record player. Did you guys see that? That's brilliant, Cindy. I don't have an eye for this stuff always, but yeah, I totally see that. It's so cute, isn't it? Okay, we're going with black. We're going with black. This was good. This was easier. So let me just think here. I think I'm going to go here, one there. one there, and one here. Because you want them in a bit of a triangle formation. Maybe I want it here, just to put a little bit on the pink. Okay, I can't even handle how cute this card is. And I mean, the fact that it has pink and a gold record on it, it just makes my heart really happy. So that's the card. For the record, you're awesome. My first one said, you're my favorite song. For the record, you're my favorite song. So this one, I went with a different color palette. I did the sentiment in gray, smoky slate. Because I chose a different pattern of the paper. So this is my original. This is the one I did now. So tell me, do you guys like pink and gray or pink and green? Do you like card number 1 or card number 2? Thank you. I'm glad that you guys like it. Like I said, some of you are gonna like it's one of those cards you'd either love or hate. Like it's very retro looking. And the gold record might offend people, but I love it. I think it's fun. So shiny. You love both of them. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. Thanks, friends. Yeah, I don't know if I could really decide either. I love them both. So this stamp set is available right now in the online store. I do have a host code. And so if you decide that you'd like to order this and you place an order in my online store, you can find that at zarapremji.com. And then if you place an order with that host code, then you will also get a gift from me. If your order is over $50 or more, you will also get a free tutorial bundle. For those of you that don't know, I participate in a tutorial bundle with the All-Star Design Team. And so this includes many demonstrators from all over the world who design beautiful projects. And every month we put together a tutorial which has videos and instructions and supply lists and all the things. So you'll get that absolutely free with your order. And this is a stamp set you're going to want to have in your arsenal. If you need any help deciding what to put together in your order, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can absolutely do that, and I'm more than happy to help. I really want to see people be successful with their crafting. So I've been doing this now for over 9 years, and I'm more than happy to help you with your choices, or if you kind of have questions about anything that I did today, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm going to just take this off and just look at the comments here. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you guys like them both. Yes. A terrific card in tune for the start of a whole new week. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I hope you all have a fantastic day and week ahead. For those of you that are back to work tomorrow or have kids or grandkids that are going back to school, wishing everybody the best and a smooth start. And I'll see you guys back on next Sunday. Thanks again for joining me. Bye for now.